In this week's lesson, we are going in deep with the Beatles Twist and Shout. Hey guys, I'm Naylor here to help you grow as a guitarist, and this today is the first in a new format of song lesson where I hope to, instead of just teach you how to play a song, we're going to delve a little bit deeper and consider the whys. This week's song is the Beatles' rendition of Twist and Shout, famously the last song that the band recorded in an epic one-day recording session with George Martin at Abbey Road Studios. So for this song we're going to be covering the following: 1-4-5 progressions, bar chords, location of root notes of 1-4-5s, syncopation, a guitar solo harmonised in diatonic thirds, and that famous D9 chord and that chromatic walk up at the end of the song. So taking you first a little bit through the structure of the song, we are in 4/4 time here. The tempo is somewhere between 122 to 128 BPM. The main progression here is a 1-4-5-5-7 in the key of D major. Now the 1-4-5, if you don't know, they are the chords in a major key, which will themselves be major. So in this example, we have a D major, G major, and an A major. The fifth note of the scale, being named the dominant, is where we can expect to find a dominant 7, and that's what we have in this song. The A becomes an A7 and brings us back round to the 1 as the progression repeats. So we're going to take a look at how you can play this with open chords, and then how the two guitarists in the band actually played it. So let's zoom in. So this progression can be played in the open position with the following chord grips. We could go D to G and to A. A7 you could do this way. But what sounds a little better to the song is the A7 with the flat 7, the G note, up on the 3rd fret of string number 1. In the live performances, John Lennon seemed to play it with the open D and then the G bar shape, E shape, and then going up to the E shape of the A, but grabbing the 7 grip there, where we've got the flat 7 under the bar finger, the 5th fret of string 4, and also under the pinky at the 8th fret of string 2. So the rhythm of the song, and indeed the guitar solo that follows, we find a syncopation, in that the chord changes aren't occurring nicely on the beat. We don't have this. That A7 chord at the end of the first measure is coming on the upbeat, the and after beat number 4. It's 1, 2, 3, and. And that's what a syncopation is. It's the sense of playing on the weak beats. In this kind of context, we have a strong quarter note pulse, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the ands, we'll consider the upbeats that fall in between those. They're the weak beats. And this rhythm is going 1, 2, 3, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and. So that A7 chord is anticipating beat number 1 of the second measure. So it will sound like this. So as I do this, I'm doing it with all down strumming. I think that suits the style of the song. So that is the main progression of the verses. It tends to be played 4 times, and then it also forms the underlying of the guitar solo at 109, which we'll go through in just a moment. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce to you perhaps the idea of bass notes of 1-4-5 chords when we're using bar shapes. Our 1 chord, as George Harrison plays it, is found on string 5 at the 5th fret. That's my D, the root note. The root then of the 5 chord, the A, will always be on the string above in the same fret. There it is. That's 1, 5. Now you may know that there is a tone falling between the 4th and the 5th in the major scale, and so the bass note of the 4 chord will be a tone below, 2 frets below. There's the G, A, and D. 4, 5, 1. Now with that knowledge, you could move this chord progression whatever you wanted to, if to better suit your voice. For example, if you were better here, the 1 chord, if it was an F, 1, the 4 and 5 will be there. 1, 4, 5. So really useful that. Bass notes 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Now you can clearly hear at the very beginning of the song there is this like walking bass line in the guitar part, and this is why I think Harrison's playing it like this to enable him to do this. So we're coming from the 5th, and then we grab the 6th of the scale in the 7th fret with 3rd finger. Finger 1 slides back into fret 4, string 5. That's the 7th of the scale. And then we go back to the 1. So, and 4 and 1. So this song has a pickup or an anacrusis, the sense of not starting on beat number 1. And 4 and 1. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So what you can look to do is sort of put a little amalgamation of the two parts. If you play the Harrison's part, A7, and then you walk up the bass at the end of the measure. And that's basically, as I said, the entire song. There is, though, a second section, well, let's call it section B. This comes at 124 and at the outro at 218. And it's basically just a few measures of the 5 chord, the dominant 7th, because they're harmonizing. They're singing there the notes that make up the A7 chord, and so they're just playing an A7. It can be played in the open position, or I think they do it up here. They do that, and there's a slight rhythm to the bum 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 bum, accenting again syncopation 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It goes a little something like this, 6 measures of this. Etc, etc. So 6 measures and then you're back into the verse again. Now at the end, with that D9 chord at the very end, we do the A7, 2, 3, 4. So on the 4th measure of the A7, we walk up. We have a chromatic or fret by fret walk up on string 5. You could think of that penultimate measure in a count of 6, really. Beat 1 is a strum upon the A7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So it's A7, open string, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Back to the D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, click, click. And here is the D9 chord. Let's break that down. D9 is short for a D dominant 9th, and that is a dominant 7th with an added 9th, which is also the 2nd of the scale. Here's a C chord. Here's a C dominant 7th with an added B flat. If I take that upper tone, I will have a D7. Now here's the octave of the root note. We could call that an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This we could call a 9th. And it's considered a 9th and not a 2nd because we're going to have the 3rd present in the chord, the F sharp. So we have root, 3rd, flat 7, 9. And then we have the A up on top, that's the 5th of the chord. So root 3, flat 7, 9, 5. Barring down on the 3rd finger there. So the guitar solo is cool because it's harmonized in diatonic thirds. So I want to break down what that is first of all. If we imagine the D scale on both string 5 and 4, my tonic D in the 5th fret, I'm walking up. How we harmonize in thirds, we take the first note and add to it the third, 1 and 3. And then you go to the second note and add in the 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. And you keep doing that. 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, back to the 1, 7, and 2, and then 1 and 3 again. You'll see there are two different shapes. We have this and this. This is what we call a major third. Here's a minor third. So it goes major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor. That's worth learning. The solo, though, doesn't climb up the neck. It finds us in a position. They play it in the second position with this scale shape. So it's the D major scale in the C shape. Harmonizing that in thirds would look a little something like this. So the low notes of the solo are kind of like this. Considering the degrees of the scale upon which that is made, it's 1, 1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 4, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 4, 3. Why is that important? Well, because we just saw that some of them were major thirds and some were minor thirds. The 1, the 4, and the 5 were major thirds, and then the others, the 2, the 3, the 6, and the 7 were minor thirds. And so the 1 is harmonized with the major third being that shape, as is the 4. So it's 1, 1, 4. Now that shape is actually a minor third on strings 3 and 2. So that is how the 6th will be harmonized. So you keep that shape in the fingers. And finger 1 is barring across the 2nd fret. That is the shape of the major third across this string pair. There's tricky strings 3 and 2. And then we have a minor third with an open G string, and then 4, and then the 3. I changed my fingering there. For the major third I had fingers 1 and 2. The minor third here I used fingers 1 and 3. So that gives us and that's how that's played. And that is the song, you guys. So there you are, guys. That is the song. Well done if you're still with me. I hope you found that informative and get a lot of use out of what we went through. Please do consider leaving a comment if you enjoyed the video, and maybe give me some ideas for any other songs you might like me to get into in this format. Please a thumbs up if you did enjoy the video, and if you are new, welcome. Please do consider subscribing, and as you do so, click on the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any future channel notifications. I'll look to put this video on my website blog, or maybe have a handout of the information here. Until next time, practice well, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye! Where instead of just teaching you the whys, look, welcome, please do consider subscribing. Woo! Bleh.